Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This time we would like to present our research according to the analysis of socio-technical approach and socio-user experience network analysis or SNA, or to address objection ergonomic loom in the village of Lumban Suhi-Suhi. In this research outlet, according to the introduction, research method, result and discussion, and conclusion. As the introduction, we can look this figure. This is one of the weaver in Lumban Suhi-Suhi village. As we know, this weaver make the ulas. As the ulas is one of the famous traditional cultural heritage in Indonesia. One sample in this study we take in Samosir area that the loom used in this area called partonungan. This tool has been used legacy, passed down from the ancestor to today's generation. The design actually has never been changed. But based on the academic preliminary research, partonungan loom cannot fulfill the standards of the ergonomic that the weaver are using partonungan in bend position to cause the risk of the musculoskeletal disorders. On the other hand, the Lumban Suhi-Suhi village weaver used to weave in a long time every day. Even more, the target for the special market they call as the onan, the weaver can weave for the 7 hours a day non-stop. This we propose some design, ergonomic design for the woven. This we can see here a little bit make the different construction as the traditional one we call as the ergonomic design of the weaving. This at the first the weavers really wanted the new design of the loom, but in fact it's after being given the ergonomic loom, the tool is abandoned. After the handover, this tool is not longer used by the weaver as the expected. Therefore, the weaver rejection of the ergonomic loom need to be investigated. This, the actual of the loom designed ergonomically. This is the SketchUp design of the weaving, as we mentioned before. Based on the primary research, many people refused to use the ergonomic loom because they wanted to maintain the traditional to use partonungan looms that was inheritance in their family. That is one opinion. However, not all families have such legacy looms. Only they still refuse to use the new looms influence the fellow of the weavers. This condition need to be analyzed to see who are the key figures that can be bridged to instill the idea that good ergonomic loom use. In the research method, we collect the data in the location named the Lumban Suhi-Suhi village in Samosir Island, the Utara, North Sumatera. The subject was participated in the study around 28 weavers, and they almost have the experience around 10 to 46 years. Sub-question used in this research, beside the ergonomic design, we use the single easy question, and then we use the social network analysis questionnaires. Two kinds of analysis was being done, include the technical analysis and social analysis. In the technical analysis, the factor used in this study, we calculated, mentioned about the effectively and efficiency, which is calculated the minute of doing the task. The factor easy of use, which calculated using the single easy questionnaire, which its dimensions was rated for both types of loom, the partonungan and the ergonomic design, to see perform one's comparison between the two. The difference in value between the two looms perspective is a value that would be ergonomic loom repair parameters. And the social analysis is a technique for studying the relationship or social relation among the members of the group that rejected of loom. The mapping knowledge within the framework of social network analysis can be visual or represented by the matrix and graph form. The result we can see here according to the two analyses. First is the technical analysis. First we mentioned about the task of weaving chain ulas. Here we divide into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9, 10 tasks that doing by the weavers. So 10 tasks between the pertonungan and the ergonomic tools, we compare each other so we can find here effectivity and efficiency each task. So we can look here based on the figure 4 and the table 2. The pertonungan loom actually are more effectively and efficiently used because it has fewer errors and faster to use. This can cause by several factors such as a viewer has not been accustomed with new loom or new loom has some bugs in its use. Here we mention about the easy of use. We can look here. This is the easy of use is conclude the average viewer find it is very difficult to perform the second task here. The second task that is putting tundalan, as we mentioned before in the figure, that there are ways to the ergonomic loom that obtain a value of 6.5, which means we were very difficult to do the task. And then the smallest value obtained at the third task, that is title thread with the baliga with a value of 2.86, which means it easy to do. We repeat again about the picture of this result as below. Like here. This is mentioned the pertonungan easy use because they call this tundalan is easy to move the width, and also this is baliga to move the width like this. The other side, the social analysis. So in here actually 28 participants, they have a group that made by their location of the village. Here we can look, this is the not bigger than the other. We can find here some name. We use the initial of the name of the weaver, mention it its point. We get actually the 3 big point, but here this is part is much correlation than the other. So in this area, this is mentioned strongly than the other. We can find the actor, the big actor can influence the rejected of the loom. So this is the number of questions to make the SNR analysis. We mentioned about 3 questions and we can get the degree centralization and eigenvector. So finally we find that based on the technical factor, this is several dimension of pertonungan has better performance than ergonomic, but in the factor social, that is have a group. This is several group mention about the 7 and 8 group make influence, some more influence to the other, and then influence come from the weaver of name these 3 of them. So the conclusion, the transition of technology is concerning not only the potential benefit to the gain, but also adaptability of the technology the user. The ergonomically designed loom is not well accepted by the weavers because they prefer to use their family legacy loom, the socio-technical approach is done to increase of adaptability of the new technology. For the technical aspect, is found that the old loom design is more effective and easy to use compared to the new design. Even based on the research result has opposite opinion. To facilitate the social approach, the new ergonomic design should be designed by the input of recommendation of weaver. Here, the mention is influenced by 3 of the weavers who has a big social influence over the weaver in this community. Thank you very much for your attention.